Hello and welcome to Matrix IT's Cybersecurity Fundamentals course. This module is on multi-factor authentication. My name is Frank Fazio and I will be your instructor. Okay, multi-factor authentication, you can kind of guess what it is. You're authenticating with more than one thing with multi-factor. So when we did the passwords module, we discussed how passwords were broken. That if somebody grabbed your password, they could log into your system, it'd log into the system and pretend they were you. So multi-factor authentication helps with that. Okay, let's look at the definition. Multi-factor authentication is an authentication method that requires the user to provide two or more verification factors to gain access to a resource. So you have a password and something else. It wants something else to make sure it's you. All right. That way, again, if somebody on the other side of the planet has your password, because they found it on the internet somewhere, they can't do anything because once they put the password in, the system's going to say, yeah, that's great, but we just texted you on your cell phone. What does it say on your cell phone? They don't have your cell phone. Okay, so that's what this does. There's a couple different kinds. Security questions. Um, See, I debated whether I was going to put this one in here, but I'm putting it in here and I'm going to leave it. And so let's say you go to a website and you're logging in. You put your password, then it asks a security question, right? What's your mother's maiden name, let's say. So you put the password in, it says, okay, what's your mother's maiden name? That is two-factor in the sense that you have to put two things in, but somebody could know both, right? So you put your password in, and it's easy to figure out what your mother's maiden name is or the street you grew up on. So it's not really, it kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Because it's not something you have, right? So multi-factor authentication is something you know and something you have. Cell phone, right? So security questions, I'm going to leave this in here. Don't give me grief during the question and answer period there. I'm going to leave this in here. That's the two things, but it's not really two-factor authentication. Now, email, on the other hand, and this is what I mean. So if I go to a website and I log in with my password, it's going to say, I want to make sure it's you. Okay, I know you got your password right, but I want to make sure it's you. We just sent an email to your email account. We know you're the only one that has access to your email account. You tell me what it says in your email, and then you can put both in, password and then the code in your email. All right, that's two-factor authentication. The cell phone, another good example. You put the password in, and it's going to say, that's great. We want to make sure it's you. And we know you have a cell phone because you've given us the cell phone number. You've given us your cell phone number. We're going to send a text to your phone. You put your password in, and then tell us what the text says on your cell phone. Right? Two-factor. Something you know, something you have. You have a text from your cell phone. Okay. Authy, Google, Microsoft Authenticator. So this works with your cell phone also. You download an app, right? Let's say you download Authy. You download an app on your phone, and what it does, it generates numbers for you. Okay, it'll generate a 6 or 7-digit number. So when you go put your password in, the system says, okay, that's great. Check your Authy. Check that app on your phone. We're not going to send you a text, but that number is already being generated on our side. So we're going to generate the same number on your phone because we're using the same algorithm. We're using the same app. So that app's in tune. So at that point, you go to your cell phone, you put your password in, you check your cell phone on the app, and I'm going to show you an example of this. And that number just spins every 30 seconds, but the number is also spinning on the system side. So it doesn't send you anything, right? It's generating the same number on both sides. Password, and then the code in that app. One-time key fob, same thing. Instead of your phone, the key fob rotates the numbers. Okay, and a YubiKey. All right, the YubiKey it looks like a little USB. You plug in your USB and you put your finger on it, and it lets you in. Okay, so these are the different types. I'm going to give an example of each one except for the security questions. So email. I have American Express that sends me an email when I log in. All right. So it'll send me this is the actual email. So I blocked, I think, all the sensitive portions out. I really should take a look at this. Okay. So when I try to log in to my American Express account, I put the password in from my password manager. My password manager just feeds it the password, but it says, you know what? We're going to send you an email, right? And it says right here, your one-time code, and whatever that code says, you type in, okay, on the website, and it'll let you in. This is the multi-factor. This is that second step that only you have access to. All right, that's it. You've set that, and I've set this up. You can set it up on your credit cards too. Okay, whenever I log in to American Express on the internet, it sends me an email, and I gotta get that email, the code right here, and I gotta make sure that that code gets typed in, and I'm in my account. All right. So when we go to SMS, now we use our cell phones. So if I go to my LinkedIn, right, and I log in, so I'm going to put my email address and I'm going to put my password. It's going to come from my password manager. All right. So I'm going to put those two things in there. You know what it's going to say? It's going to be say, you know what? That's great. You know, you got it right. But where you're signing in from an unrecognizable device or unrecognized device, please enter the verification code. So what it's going to do, I've told it my phone number. It actually sends a text to my phone, and I then put that in the box. All right. You see how this works? LinkedIn didn't recognize me, so it sent a text to my phone, and then I put that into the box. All right. And if you notice here, I know it's a little small to see, but right here it says recognize this device in the future. Whenever I use this laptop from now on, if I have that clicked on, it will never ask me to do that again because it knows me on this device. If I go use another computer at work, or if I go use a computer, some other computer besides this laptop, it will ask me for the text on the phone. Okay, that's just, you know, a security device, a security option that you can put on. Recognize this device in the future, because you don't want to go through this every single time on your laptop. All right. The minute you use someone else's laptop, it's going to say, oh, I don't recognize you on this laptop. What's the code? So SMS multi-factor, the system will send a text to me, and I will put the text into the box here. Okay, that's the SMS. Now, the Authy is different. All right, and this is how that works. When I put my username and password into LinkedIn, it's going to say, okay, that's great. What is the code that you see on your app? So at that point, I go to my cell phone. Okay, it's not sending me anything. This number is an app. This app rotates this number over and over every 30 seconds. That number changes. I type it in within the 30 seconds, and LinkedIn has the same type of app with the same number. That number is exactly the same that LinkedIn has, and it rotates every 30 seconds. Okay? They're using the same algorithm. So it stops them from sending you anything. All right? Because if they send you something, it can be intercepted. This is not being intercepted. Okay? LinkedIn said, you got it right. You check your phone, go into the app, and tell me what the number is on your app. Okay? And we're not sending you anything. Just tell us what that number is. And you put it in, and again, recognize this device in the future. All right? Once I put this code in here and I say recognize this device in the future, and I hit submit, it will not ask me to do this again on this laptop. Okay, the minute I use another laptop. Now, this is Authy. There's the Google has one. and so does Microsoft Authenticator. They're pretty much all the same. Okay, but I've already told LinkedIn, I want to use this app. Says, okay, you want to use that app? Whenever you log in and we don't recognize the laptop or the computer you're on, we're going to ask you to look on that app. Okay, that's Authy. This is the Authy one, right? And you see all the other accounts here that would be on there. All right, yeah, you put it in there. Okay, so the key fob multi-factor is a little key fob. I actually have one here. Okay, I use it for work. So this number here, you probably can't see it, but there's a little number on this, and I carry this with me at all times. So on certain accounts, this number that appears on here rotates every, I think it's 30 seconds also. I need to put this number in. So this is a picture of the RSA one. So if I went to LinkedIn and they said, okay, yes, the username and password is right. What is the code on your key fob? Okay, that number there would be again in tune with the number on LinkedIn's side. And because the numbers match, when I type this number in there, then it will let me access my account. It's just a different way of doing it. I don't need a cell phone. I can carry this around with me. And this number again changes. This is a little countdown here. Okay, these little things disappear and then it rotates. I think it's every 30 seconds. Now YubiKey. Okay, and I also have one of those for my accounts. Okay, this is what it looks like. You probably can't really see it, but it's a YubiKey here. So it looks like a USB stick, right? So how this works is if you are telling the system you want to use this, when you put your password in, it says, okay, insert your YubiKey and touch this lights up. This little thing here lights up, all right? And you put your finger on it. Okay, and once you put your finger on it, it will send a signal over to the system and it will let you in. Okay, this is called a YubiKey. There's all different sorts of colors, and depending on the version, the color changes. I have two of these. Okay, one is with my lanyard that I wear all the time when I'm working, and the other one is on my keychain my keychain for my keys, just in case I don't have my lanyard. It's, I'm after hours and I need, so I have two of them and I've coded them exactly the same. And so if I don't have one, I have the other because I have my keys with me all the time for the car. All right. That's what a YubiKey is. All right. So you've seen a number of different ways, right? There's, an email can be sent to you with a code with your password. There is the SMS, that text to your phone, and your password. There's the Authy, right? The Authy or the Google or the Microsoft Authenticator. That is the number that spins every 30 seconds on your phone, right? With your password. Then there's the key fob, right? That key fob, the number spins, right? You don't need a cell phone plus your password. And the YubiKey. The YubiKey, there's no codes here, right? That the user can see. But once it says, hey, I want that extra check, I need you to plug in that YubiKey and I want you to touch it because we'll know it's you. Okay, because nobody else has this key. Nobody else has the key. You can get them on Amazon. They're not very expensive, but you code them to your account, and you can use these and be well aware that unless you have this, you're not getting in your account. So somebody can have your password. Who cares? You can't go any further than this. This is going to let you in. It's a pain in the butt when you don't have it, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. So protecting ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, you need to turn on multi-factor authentication. If your work doesn't have it, you got to do it on your personal accounts. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they all allow you to do that go and turn them on like immediately. Okay, so how do you do that? So if you go to your, let's say you go to your LinkedIn account, look, because I've been doing LinkedIn. So you go to settings, right? Your account settings, and under settings there should be security, right? I think for security, and under security there should be something that's called multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. And once you go in there, okay, it'll say, okay, what's your phone number? And you put your phone number in, and it'll send a test to make sure that you actually have that cell phone. And from then on in, once you initialize it, once you say, yes, this is my phone and this is the code that you just sent it, you have turned on two-factor authentication. Okay. So if the system, if LinkedIn is unaware, like, or it doesn't believe it's you, it'll ask you for the code. And Twitter too, the same thing with Twitter, because I've turned them on all my accounts. Twitter's the same thing. If you try to log into your Twitter account on your laptop, it's going to say, that's great, you know the password, but we want to know the code on your phone or something along those lines. So do yourself a favor, go to each one of your accounts and turn them on. I can't tell you how many times people have said, oh, my Facebook got hacked, or my Instagram got hacked, or my Twitter got hacked. If you turn on two-factor authentication, it's very, very difficult to hack you because they don't have your cell phone or your YubiKey or your whatever Twitter allows you to do, right? Okay, and I'm telling you right now, I just dealt with somebody who had their account hacked, their Twitter. And it was funny because I'm on their account and I'm just seeing spam and spam and spam and spam. All the posts that she was posting was just spam, 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 spam. So I contacted her. I said, listen, I think you've been hacked, right? So, and then she contacts me back. She says, oh my gosh, yeah, I have been. I can't even get back into my account. She had to go, because the first thing when somebody accesses your account, they're going to change the password so you can't get back in. All right, just to let you know. So she contacted Twitter and she went through all the hoops and everything, and she got her account back. First thing she did was turn on two-factor authentication. So now every time somebody tries to get into her account, okay, and they know her password, let's say, they don't have her cell phone because she set up her cell phone. So that's that thing. The code goes to her cell phone, and she needs her cell phone to log in. So do yourself a favor, get used to multi-factor authentication, because I'm telling you, your work is going to eventually put it into place. Okay. When I do my training, yep, we're putting it in, we're putting it in, we're putting it in. Do it personally. Put it into your social media accounts. Learn it. Get used to it. And then when it comes to your workplace, it'll be easy, and you won't have to worry about learning it. If you have authentication codes from your cell phone, or your key fob, never give that information out. Okay, because if you give that information out, then somebody can use it within that amount of time. So I think eBay is 5 minutes. That code's good for. American Express, I think, might be 10 minutes. That the code's good for. Don't give that code out. That code is for you only. All right? That's what it's there for. It's for you, not for anybody else. Never give the code out. And of course, there are many different ways to use multi-factor authentication. I've shown you, I think, 4 or 5 ways. Okay? Do yourself a favor. Turn it on your accounts, because it's going to save you. I'm telling you. It may be a pain in the butt, but it's not a pain in the. You should see how hard it is to get your account back when it's been hacked. And I actually, that reminds me, I got my eBay hacked once, and I don't know if I ever discussed this in any of my other modules. I woke up one morning and it said, this is about maybe 20 years ago, hey, congratulations, you've won a tractor. And I'm like, I want a tractor. And sure enough, I wanted one of these green tractors. I think it was from like Yugoslavia or something like that. Well, somebody had gotten into my account. I guess they picked up my password somewhere down the line. This was 20 years ago when I was just getting into this, and sure enough, I had to go through hoops to get my account back. Okay, do yourself a favor. And back then, Two-factor authentication wasn't a thing. It did not exist, right? We were just using passwords. So do yourself a favor and go to your social media accounts, turn on two-factor or multi-factor authentication, all right? So that's this module. It's shorter than the other ones, but stay safe, stay frosty, and I will see you in the next module.